Alright guys, if you want to get more attention online, one of the things is you got to become more like Wikipedia in the way that your websites are set up. So search for just about any random topic, and Wikipedia is one of the first search results, if not the first search result. So what this means is that notice how Wikipedia is beginning in their articles here. If you go to their, let's go to the John D. Rockefeller article. And notice how they have tons of text on there. They basically explain everything about John D. Rockefeller, everything about their topic. So they'll give a summary of it at the top just because that's what most people are interested. But then they'll expand early life, pre-Standard Oil career, before he started his big business, how he did stuff at Standard Oil and created a monopoly. But bottom line is they're detailed and holistic about the content that they're producing. So one of my clients is let's go to here. With him, you recreate lead generation sites. So if you go and that site is one of the sites that we have is GrandRapidsTree.com. So notice how, if you're going to look at the similarities between Wikipedia and a service business website, okay? So let's also just go to here. Let's go to here. Let's go tree service in Grand Rapids. So just so you can see that this works, Grand Rapids Tree Service is here, GrandRapidsTree.com, same website. That's what we gather. We gathered a lot of the search engine results there, but we're not doing that right now. What we're going to go look at is we're going to go to page 4 here and look at MA Tree Service. Notice how they've got a few words on there. Now I'm going to introduce you to a special tool that I use. It's super easy. Web page word counter. Okay. Let's go to here. So we just literally we're going to copy and paste the URLs into here. So we're going to go over to here, and we've got 2,000 words there. And then we're going to go to the home page of this guy. Okay, he has not built out his home page. Anyway, let's go over to here. Go with this one. Notice how on this one here, he's got 1,100 words, and the previous one had almost 2,000 words. So it makes a huge difference when you're on between when you're on page 4 or page 1, the number of words that you have on the site. So let's go to here. We'll Google that again here. Tree service. Well, to be fair, let's do tree service in Grand Rapids. Okay, let's pick another one, you know? Let's go over to here. Cortland Tree Service. It's in Grand Rapids area, okay? But notice this. This is more typical of what we see with websites, is people have a little paragraph on here. They list the service. As far as this is what they all do. They do tree removal, pruning, trimming, storm damage, and you take this in your niche too. Okay, so if you're an electrician, you're gonna see all sorts of. You're gonna have all sorts of electrician services, such as panel replacement, generator installation, all sorts of services on there. Generally, people are just gonna list what they do, and then they'll have a couple of pictures. This has a little bit to do with tree care, but it's a fancy background picture. Doesn't really have to do with them doing the tree care, if you know what I mean. So then there's their call to action. There's just one. It's a simple Squarespace website. I do have their email on there, which is good, I guess. But the buttons aren't call to action either. But the main thing we're looking at here today is their number of words on a page. So let's get the exact number just so then we're playing around. So we got 19 29 there. Then we'll look at here. Oh, it's going to do that. Let's do this. That's the, when you encounter free tools, that's the way it works. So there's always a workaround for that. So we're going to go to the word counter. Do that here, word counter. Then we'll go over to here. It takes a little bit longer because it's not importing the text itself, but so we've got 95 words here. So 5% of the words that are on Grand Rapids tree. But let's look at this, why this one ranks to the top. One of the reasons why is because they go through meticulously what's going on their, what they do, and basically they've become almost the Wikipedia of their service and location, which is what I'd encourage each one of you to do. So they've put together their main service on here and their main location. Then they go through a summary of their service. Notice how Wikipedia, they've got the main topic and then a summary of their service, right? So it's not near as long as the Wikipedia page, but it summarizes. Then they go through a list of what they all offer, their services. So then each individual one, so it stands out with bullet points. Notice the call to action here, multiple throughout. They've got a call to action down here as well. So then you're going to go down here and you'll look at, okay, why should you go with us? Because that's what somebody's going to be asking themselves. Well, why should I pick you over the Cortland Tree House or Cortland Tree Services? So then we've been here for a long time. There's a little story about their business themselves. Then some important factors that impact tree service. Okay, why is it important to pick a good tree service company? So why get your trees trimmed at all? But then they go through and describe each service that they have. So we're going to go through details. Okay, where are they going as a company? What are their goals? They want to become the biggest in West Michigan. Okay, we've got great compensation for our crew. They treat their employees really well. So basically, they go through and explain it. And part of the reason is there's very few people that are going to go through this page and read the entire thing and then call them. Like this is a click to call number. Click to call button, so they click it and then you get on the phone with them. So if I was on my phone, that would go directly to the phone application. So, but the reason you put all this here is there's two readers of your website. There's the person who's browsing for it, but then there's also Google. Google wants to know that you are the authority in your niche, in your industry. So that's why they have this. That's why they just chose to write out all this. So then they became the authority in their niche. Just like this, there's very few other websites that have even close to the amount of authoritative information on their websites as Wikipedia does. They went through and researched meticulously Rockefeller's business, essentially writing a small book. I mean, if you want to look at it here, let's see if it pulls up. So they've got 11,000 words. Most novels are 60,000 words, so this is a small book on John D. Rockefeller, essentially.